All right, day 3 of the government shutdown ends with another failed vote in the Senate. Senate Majority Leader John Thune saying there will be no more votes this weekend, so the shutdown won't end until at least Monday. Now, in the meantime, the president moving towards firing thousands of federal workers and making major cuts to programs all across the country. While Democrats and Republicans point the finger at one another, millions of Americans are taking the brunt of that hit. The last government shutdown lasted over a month, with tense negotiations over securing the southern border. But what's different this time around? What'll it take for lawmakers to strike a deal? Our Liana Golden getting answers tonight.
A fall Friday on the National Mall.
So it's a nice little breeze, temperature is nice.
Yeah, just a nice walk.
Tough to beat, but suddenly it all feels very different.
How many times a week would you say you come out here to the National Mall after work?
About 3 times.
What do you notice today versus other days before the government shut down in terms of people out here on the mall?
A lot less people. It's a lot less. It looks more like a ghost town.
So these are 2 different shutdowns.
Casey Myers examines political science at Virginia Tech. He says during the 2018 to 2019 shutdown,
The issue back then was an issue over the border security and the border wall and a budget that would include funding for the wall.
And now it's largely about affordable health care. He says it's impossible for anyone to predict just how long this fight will last. The last one went 35 days. But there are plenty of factors, he says, that can likely speed up the process and force lawmakers to reach an agreement.
A lot of times these things are determined by how much appetite the politicians, but also how much appetite the public has to see this drag on.
From possible long lines at the airports to the threat of food programs like SNAP or WIC running out of money to feed families.
The personal impacts of the government shutdown on federal workers and their families is something that I think both parties are cognizant of.
What all shutdowns do have in common, widespread worry, as hundreds of thousands of people lock in for what could be a rocky road ahead. In the district, I'm Liana Golden, 7 News.
We'll be continuing our coverage of the shutdown throughout the weekend, so be sure to keep up with all of our updates on WJLA.com. And that is where we're also posting resources for federal workers and a list of what's open and what is closed.